Coming up on the Uplift, talk about being at the right place at the right time. See how one Minnesota Vikings player helped save a man's life. Then getting Ukrainian soldiers back on their feet. See the progress made and meet the Minnesota doctor making it happen. And a commitment to never stop helping. Why a Minnesota woman says one trip overseas to support Ukrainians was not enough. Welcome to the Uplift. In this digital series, we are going to be sharing some of our favorite stories we are sure will put a smile on your face. It's our goal to lift your spirits for at least the next 30 minutes and hopefully for a lot longer. I'm Susan Elizabeth Littlefield. Thank you so much for being with us. A Minnesota Viking player calls a fiery crash proof that angels will protect us. Imagine that you're in an Uber, headed to a train, when all of a sudden the car in front of you crashes and bursts into flames. That's what KJ Osborne tells us happened to him in Austin, Texas. He and his Uber driver sprung right into action. The two of them and three other Good Samaritans from another car stopped and pulled the man out. They put themselves at great risk running towards the flames. Osborne was able to grab the man that was driving and carry him to safety.
Initially, the guy, he was kind of unconscious, and then I think he kind of felt the heat coming from his legs, and he kind of woke him up, and he was able to kind of muster the strength to be able to at least, move his upper body to the side to the passenger seat to lean over, and his legs were still there. And then that's when me and the other, three individuals, we ran down. We helped drag him out the car.
Thanks to KJ's help, the victim didn't suffer any serious injuries. Prom is a highlight for many high schoolers, but it can also be pretty expensive. That's where Project Fairy Godmother comes in. The nonprofit collected new and gently used prom dresses and accessories at Macy's Mall of America. It was all done so students could pick out their perfect outfit for free.
We have so many students right now that need dresses, and it's just a really great chance for one night they can dress up, have a great time. And so when you donate dresses, it goes right back into the community.
I'm long overdue to clean out some closets, and my daughter had lots of prom dresses, so I thought it was worthwhile coming out and donating.
Project Fairy Godmother has been doing this for nearly a decade. It's been over a year since Russia invaded Ukraine. During that time, there has been a steady stream of arrivals like this one at MSP International Airport. Wounded Ukrainian soldiers coming here for medical care and for hope. As our Erin Hazanzadeh saw for herself, the work is just getting started.
Yakov Gredinar sees the cost of war every day.
There you go.
Here at the Protez Foundation clinic in Oakdale.
And when war started, it's like, oh, I'm Ukrainian, I'm here in US, have access to a lot of things that I can do. This is my time to help Ukrainians.
From the time these wounded Ukrainian soldiers touch down, this team hits the ground running to get them back on their feet.
I make them do by themselves. So with Danilo even missing his left hand and partial right, he's still adjusting and doing stuff.
Today, he's fitting Daniil for prosthetics.
You cannot go more than 1 or 2 stories, and it's just like you get overwhelmed.
He's just 20 years old and was hurt just a week after heading to the front lines.
Only one car survived, military vehicle survived, and it was only few of our guys survived.
Wounded, he hid in a shed for days.
So during day, Russians were going around houses and looking for food, and they found me.
He says those Russian soldiers were also 19.
And I told them, just shoot me in the head, I'm not gonna talk to you.
Also dazed by how violent and messy life had become.
And these young men understood what's going on and how bad Putin regime is. They actually helped me to take care of my wounds. А тепер бачиш,
After time as a prisoner where a Russian doctor amputated his hand, fingers, and toes, he was eventually swapped and returned to Ukraine where both feet were amputated. But don't expect self-pity here.
I'm watched by my brothers, soldiers from the heaven, and I'm embarrassed to be sad in this. I just need to do my best.
Daniil was honored at the White House before coming to Minnesota. He says a simple thank you for what you're doing means the world.
We feel it all on front line, and we are thankful for every bullet, for every vehicle, for everything that you do for us.
So far, the Protez Foundation has fitted 43 Ukrainian soldiers for prosthetics here, as well as 2 children and a civilian. 8 of those soldiers returned to the front lines, and more than 700 are on a wait list right now.
That they come from different regions of Ukraine and they becoming besties, friends, and they go back to Ukraine and they stay in touch.
From the front lines, hope and determination from a soldier fighting for his country.
And what I see, that courage that they have, we can help these people.
With his new Minnesota-made prosthetic.
They encourage me, and I look how much I take things for granted.
Because while Yakov sees the wounds of war, he also sees the remarkable.
Super, super, super.
Men still in uniform, even after a war ravaged their homes and bodies.
I think all these people are proud who they are and how big difference they are making for their country, and definitely that is reflected. How they wear, what they do, what their goals are.
A local firefighter and EMT is back in Minnesota after spending almost a month in Ukraine. As Reg Chapman reports, her harrowing experiences have her motivated to keep fighting.
My original plan was to be a medic.
Svetlana Vold wanted to use her expertise as a firefighter and EMT to help the people of Ukraine, but that plan changed as soon as she landed.
Russian shoots this ambulance. I think 3 people dead, including patient.
She quickly learned medics were targeted by the Russian army.
What they do is they shoot one, waiting when people, even like combat medics, will come evacuate, and they shoot them.
So she concentrated on training others.
This is foreign people who came to fight for Ukraine.
And then hit the road.
It was like about 12 miles from like Bakhmut area.
Delivering much needed medical supplies to the troops and people living in the hardest hit areas of Ukraine.
When you go close to the war zone, so like most likely you'll use like gravel roads.
Although scary, some of what she experienced was inspiring. What does it say?
Ukraine will win. And then like small things like this, the Ukrainian flags will be everywhere.
What she never got used to was the sound of air raid sirens.
Air siren every day. You have apps when it's inform you what kind of attack.
And witnessing the end result of some of those attacks. Funerals for soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice for Ukraine.
Every cemetery have at least, you can recognize who is a soldier. It will be Ukrainian flag. They make alley from small towns, people who dead, and you just like walk and it's so emotional.
Vold says she will never forget the faces of those lost, as well as those who are holding on, hoping for an end to the war. Reg Chapman, WCCO 4 News.
A talented team of young dancers needs your help. Up next, how you can get these little stars to the national stage.